Hey Leo, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. This is Allie, and I want to bring you messages that you most need to hear right now from Spirit, from your Spirit team. And I'm going to jump right in and say that I did the meditation off camera, cleansed the space. I'm finishing cleansing it now. And in the meditation, I literally saw you with it almost reminded me of the Incredible Hulk, but you were in a prison, you were in a cage, you were in a lion form, but you were breaking out of this prison. You were shocking the people who had been maybe not holding you captive, because there was kind of a feeling that it may have been a self-imposed prison, but we'll get into that. But at least you were shocking the people who were witnessing you being caged or imprisoned. And it felt incredibly powerful, and it felt like you were finally free from something. So that was what I got in your meditation. I want to go ahead and just jump right on into your reading. So I'm going to change the view here. And I want to start off, I've been using these more frequently because I just love them so much. So spirit team of all Leos that find this reading, what is the overall energy that you want them to know here today, Spirit? What is the overall energy for Leo that you want them to know? Please and thank you. Overall energy for Leo right now. Overall energy for Leo in this reading, Spirit. Please and thank you. Wow, that was fast. Let's see. We do have two. Okay, so the first one is Jaguar. Okay, I'm not surprised at all to see that. And the second one is ant. How interesting. Very different energies. Vastly different. And I'm actually being called to read about ant because I love the guidebook. The guidebook that comes with this set of cards is just perfection. I already have lots of feelings about the Jaguar, but bear with me for a moment while we look up ant. I almost feel like it talks about community. As you can tell, I love this book. I've written in this book. I have highlighted. I have notes everywhere. Okay, so we have number 32. Oh, patience. Interesting. Now that is really funny because Jaguar is not what I would associate with patience, right? Jaguar is fast. I can't remember if it's Jaguar. It might be cheetah. Are cheetahs the fastest animal in the world? Jaguars must be a close second if they're not the fastest. So I even have some highlighting that I've done here from pulling this in the past. The highlighted portion here says, this knowing is good medicine. It shows a trust in the universe. So what is the medicine? If you have ant medicine, you eat slowly and deliberately and are content in knowing that what is yours will come to you. Oh, I love that so much. You know, it's a saying in the spiritual community, but when I hear it, I always think of Baba Jolie because that was the first tarot reader on YouTube I ever came across. It was had never seen a tarot reading before in my life. And maybe this is pertinent to the reading somehow, but I'm sharing it anyway. I'd never seen a tarot reading in my life. It was completely an organic pop up when I randomly opened YouTube one day, and it was a Scorpio reading because I'm a Scorpio sun. That was all I knew about myself at the time. And so she was my first, what would you say, introduction to this world. And I hold her in such high regard. I have such a love in my heart for this individual. Never seen her face, and I love her so much. Anyway, she says, what is meant for you will never pass you by. And this is a mantra that I repeat to myself at least once a week because I am really bad about being impatient about many things. My Mars is in Aries at 0 degrees. I have a Sagittarius rising and a Leo moon and a Scorpio sun. Like Scorpio being a water sign is the fieriest of the water signs. And then pair that with all this other fire in my chart. I'm a fiery person. Patience is a virtue is something my grandmother used to say, and it's something I'm still working on today. And anyway, I say all this because I did get the feeling about community here, and it says ant people are active, community-minded folks who see the greater future needs of their town. Ant people are planners like squirrel and are content to see their dreams being built a little at a time. In today's society, this is a rare quality. Yes, it is. Patience does have its rewards. And I feel called to read this little poem here to the side. It says, "Oh, tiny ant, your patience grows like the sands of time. Can I learn to be like you, or is it too sublime?" Yeah, so trusting that what you desire and what is good for you will be provided in divine timing by the universe. And that is just such a good reminder all the time. And then Jaguar talks about integrity and impeccability. How interesting. It says, if Jaguar is roaming your dream reality today, its primal roar may be rewarding you for maintaining your integrity in some situation where you could have easily misused your authority. You may have been unwilling to pass judgment on another or to be self-serving. Were you especially kind to someone or do a good deed that was unexpected? If so, allow the recognition to fill you with feelings of well-being and continue to serve with compassion and open-hearted integrity. Yes, Jaguar medicine teaches you that personal integrity allows for mistakes, embraces forgiveness, and humbly makes self-directed corrections, allowing a rebalanced spirit to triumph once again. Okay, so I have lots of thoughts swirling through my head, kind of getting a little clearer vision of what exactly this reading is about. So, this could definitely be related to an individual that you are having, or individuals I'm hearing, that you've maybe been having, I don't know, I would say challenges with. That you're having to really bide your time to be impeccable with your word, with your character, even when it feels frustrating. And maybe this is the strength that I was seeing in that meditation, but I did see you breaking free of something that was imprisoning you. I was going to use a different deck and they wanted me to use this one. So can we get, please and thank you, Spirit, can we get some further clarification, more details on this message for Leo, please? More clarification on this message for Leo, please. I love this deck, but it is just so big for my hands to shuffle, I have to say. It's a little challenging at times, but this one I'm feeling a worthwhile price to pay for these gorgeous cards. Okay, well, they want me to just turn this one over. King of Wands. More of this being impeccable with your integrity, with your word. I keep hearing that. Impeccability with your word. And so the words at the bottom, man, there's a lot of king energy here for you because there's King of Cups at the bottom. And when I split the deck earlier, I noted the King of Pentacles. Or when I lifted the deck up, actually, I noted that the King of Pentacles was there. So, yeah, strong, confident, no guile or ill will is what this card says. And it's funny, we're talking about Leo I saw a lion in my meditation. And my daughter, who just turned 4, has been asking the most, I don't know what you would say, fascinating, interesting questions lately. And the other day, out of the blue, she said, "Mommy, is the lion the king of the jungle?" And I said, well, I think some people say that, but it was just amusing to me that she was wondering that. But I think it's so pertinent to the energy that you have been embodying, which is challenging. I think you have mastered how to really embody that king energy, moving with integrity, being strong, having fortitude, being balanced in all situations. I mean, this isn't to say that you maybe don't hiccup from time to time, because we all do. But I think if you really look at the arch of your life, arch, I don't know why I'm being weird with that at the moment. Anyway, hopefully you know what I mean. If you kind of look at that, I think there is a huge difference in who you were and how you handled things 5 years ago compared to now. Like, the amount of growth that I'm being given that you have done is overwhelming. And I don't know if you pause long enough to recognize that and to give yourself credit for it. Because in the meditation, they keep bringing me back to this, because in that, like I was saying, it did feel like this prison or confinement or cage that you had been in was more or less a prison of your own doing. And that's not to say, this is not to say you put yourself in a bad situation. I mean, lots of things happen to us that affect us greatly and color how we perceive the world, how we move in the world. But it just feels like you've done an awful lot of work on yourself. I keep getting like the last 5 years to really be this very, I don't know, you're someone that people could look up to. You're someone that people should emulate. There's so much growth that you have done. And it has taken a lot of patient, persistent work to get here. It's interesting. I'm looking at the Jaguar card and I just heard a tiger. I mean, I know this isn't a tiger, but like, a tiger never changes its stripes. But that's not actually true. People can change. People do change all the time, and for the better. And you're a living embodiment of the power of choosing, like of changing your mind and deciding, I want to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was today. But actually taking the very, challenging, time-consuming shadow work route of seeing yourself fully and saying, okay, this needs worked on. This part of me needs some help. This part of me, I don't like how quick to anger I am. I don't like how much rage I have driving in the car. I don't like the way that I speak, the way I carry myself. It's like you have this have had this very clear vision of who you desire to be, the kind of person, the kind of integrity you want to embody, and you have worked so hard to get here. You are here. Even if you have down days, that's human, they're saying. That's human. Okay? This is such an interesting reading. And I think this is part of what you're free from now. You have freed yourself from a prison of, I'm getting of anger, of depression, of low self-worth and low self-confidence, of unworthiness. I mean, these are like really, these are not just buzzwords. If you're actually doing this work, and you are, but I'm just saying in general, if you're actually doing the work to like sit down and process feelings of unworthiness, whoa, that's so hard. That's so heavy. And this is the caliber of what you have done. I mean, please see this in yourself, how proud your spirit team is of you, how proud your higher self is of you for recognizing these things, taking the actionable steps. I mean, the King of Wands is a visionary. You saw a vision of the person you wanted to be, and just like they are here on top of this mountain now, looking out over the water, like the King of Cups, you know, he's sitting on a throne in the middle of a raging sea, and he is steady and unbothered and unmoved by the chaos of emotions of the water all around him. Yeah, this is just incredible. Can we have some more information, please? What is this? The Emperor, of course, of course. You know, I always kind of think of the emperor as being over the kings, you know, like each king kind of rules over their specific dominion. Is dominion the right word? Maybe not, but bear with, just go with me here. The King of Wands, you know, rules over the wands, and the King of Cups rules over the water, and so forth. The Emperor is kind of like the king of them all. Yeah, and that's where you sit right now. I think you're still struggling with something, though, that Spirit is wanting to bring up here to give you some peace. Okay, I want to get a few more cards just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure, I think. Look at this, King of Wands again in a totally different deck. Yeah. Let's see, I think we have space here. We have Death. Yeah, it's confirming the message with this little extra one, because I think you're still struggling with some anxiety, with some fears, with old thought patterns and old beliefs of maybe you've been having trouble sleeping because you lay in bed and then your mind starts going to, well, remember when this crappy thing happened? Remember when you acted like that? Remember when you felt like you screwed up your kids forever? Like, remember when you messed up that friendship? I mean, I think it's a normal part of being human. And I also think if you look at the amount of anxiety, depression, fear, rage, all these things that you were dealing with 5 years ago, and compare them to once or twice a month when you're laying in bed and you're left with your thoughts and you start feeling a little anxious or like going over past stuff, these are easy things to get over. It may not feel like it in the moment. It might require some deep breathing, some meditation, some reminding yourself of how far you've come, reminding yourself of all the tools that you have now. But ultimately, this is just remnants of the past that you're breaking free from. And they're kind of just like the lion turning into the Hulk and breaking out of this prison. I mean, I think these things kind of tend to pop up in our awareness when we're finally shedding them for the last time with death here. Like when we're fully stepping in to our King of Wands energy, or our Emperor energy of all these different domains in our mind. I mean, the King of Wands, I think, actually is speaking to another message. It's connected to this, where if you're starting a new job, a new project, a new relationship, something creative especially, I think these things are popping up because you have so much bandwidth going. You have room now for the creation, but that also leaves room for, oh, do you remember that? do you even think you can do this? Who do you think you are? I mean, it's almost like a final boss, like a final test, to just be like, listen, I have the tools now. Look at how far you've come. That's what this reading is really talking about for you, Leo. Look at how far you've come. You need this encouragement right now because I think you kind of have been going through it here lately. I mean, we have the 9 of Swords here at the center of the reading, but look what it's flanked by. You have 8 of Pentacles. All this work you've been doing, you're almost done. The Emperor and King of Wands. Look at this. I mean, this tells a very complete story to me that you need to be reminded that you're breaking out of this prison that was in your mind. And of course, there's going to be some little nagging strings that need cut here, there, and again as you move through this transformation. But you're basically there. I think you need to cut yourself some slack and give yourself a little bit of a break, because I do think you've been kind of hard on yourself, thinking like you're backsliding, or maybe you haven't come as far as you thought you had, but that's just not true. I'm not seeing that in any of the cards. I'm not feeling that anywhere. I will say, this Crow Oracle has just been staring at me. Hang on while I get it here. I have a lot of decks. So there's definitely something that wants to come out here. And this is a really fun deck that one of my best friends gave me a couple years ago. All right. Further messages. What else would you like to say to Leo in this reading, Spirit? Please and thank you. What else would you like to say to Leo in this reading, Spirit? Please and thank you. Any other messages, please? All right. Any other messages for Leo? Ooh. There's quite a bit. And actually, that one, oh, well, I pulled it out, so we'll see. Distance. We have balance at the bottom with number 4. Emperor's number 4. So you might be seeing repeating 4s, or that might be significant to you. Those are significant. Repeating 4s are significant to me, as evidenced by my channel name here. So we have gifts with 21, resistance, yeah, trickery, protection, territory, and distance. Let me see how I can get these in the shot for you. I do think there's some resistance to sharing a gift that you have and being seen. I think there's something around this that you're just not trusting of. I think you have this really intense desire to protect yourself. Whatever this gift is that you want to show almost feels, with territory here, like I kind of get this vibe that your mind is convincing you of all the reasons why you shouldn't be putting yourself out there, why you shouldn't be communicating, why you shouldn't be creating. Even though in your heart of hearts, you're more ready now than you've ever been. You're in like this very sacred portal-like energy of, I think in your mind, I'm not saying this is the actual energy. I think in your mind, it feels like do or die. Well, if I don't do this now, then I'm done. I'm just giving up and I'm not going to do it. I don't think that's the actual energy. I think I'm reading your thoughts on this. It does make you want to distance yourself. Like staying in hermit mode. And there's something coming through here about how intentional you've had to be lately with your communication in your personal life and otherwise. And I think there might be something that's like a little bit exhausting with that, but it's because of the integrity that you have. Things are going to ease up. I do feel that. It's not going to feel like this difficult resistance a whole lot longer. Because here's the thing, ultimately, you're supposed to be sharing your gift, whatever that looks like for you, with other people. That's part of what your soul wanted to come here to do. I don't know if in the past your heart or your caring of other people has been neglected, or if you've felt like you were deceived. But there's, they're just wanting to acknowledge that might be like another one of those old narratives with the 9 of Swords that we were talking about. That's not something you need to be concerned about here. These are old stories. Yeah, it was like really big in my head when I said that these are old stories. That's what they want you to know. Yeah, you're growing something, you're nurturing something, you have something you want to present to the world. And this thing that is yours, your gift to present to the world, is like a shining light, like a beacon for other people. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a beacon for other people. Fight against this resistance, because these are old stories that are making you feel resistant to keep going forward. Another 4. Yeah. 444 is your number. Push against that resistance, because it's not going to be plaguing you very much longer. These are old stories. They just keep saying that over and over again. These are old stories. Keep nurturing and working on show the world the real you, which came through in another reading. I can't remember which sign that was, but if it was another one that you watched, know that that's a confirmation for you. Show the world the real you. Let's see. I feel like things are kind of wrapping up here. Is there anything else with the tarot? Anything else that you want to bring forward for Leo? Please and thank you. Queen of Cups. For some of you, this may be like your psychic gifts. Maybe it's doing readings just like this, starting a reading business, putting readings out in short form. But I feel that your grounded emotional nature and just your essence, your energy is very magnetic, and the light that you inherently hold, because remember, Leo, you're ruled by the sun, and the sun is not a planet, it is a star. So you are light. You're inherently light. And this light that you embody is meant to be shown in the world. Okay? These thoughts are just tricking you. And it's not like I really don't get this feeling like there's some negative force out there that's trying to keep you down. I think this is just human nature, as a form of self-preservation. Okay? So take breaks when you need to, but don't let it stop you. Don't let that hold you back. Keep working. The energy will balance itself out, but things feel kind of new and fresh right now, and it will feel better and balance out, and you're meant to put this out into the world. That's protected. Yes, that is protected. Your gifts are protected. You are protected because you have a very important light to share. Yeah. feel like I want to leave it to that, but I'm not. I'm going to do one more. I haven't done, see, some of these cards I haven't used in ages, and I just feel like getting you a quick little message here from these moon magic cards, and they have little affirmations on the back of them. Okay, so let's see what it says. It says, I gather more wisdom each day, waning gibbous. Gather more wisdom each day. You don't have to know everything or get everything right on the first try with whatever this is you're putting out into the world. I like to tell my kids, because it's something I remind myself on, that mistakes help us grow. You know, if they're hard on themselves for making a mistake with something, I try to remind them every time, mistakes just help us grow, because that's the truth. None of us are perfect, and we're going to screw up time and time again. And it's just another stepping stone. It's more wisdom to know how to do something differently the next time to get the outcome that we desire. And let's see if there's one more, and then I'll really end it for real for you. I just saw 3113. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. So where have you not been giving? You know, there's got to be a balance. I have power. It is real. Yes. There's got to be a balance here in how you treat yourself versus the way you treat others. I think you're much better at this than you used to be. But I also think you could be even better at giving back to yourself more, being more patient with yourself, giving yourself more grace, doing kind things for yourself, allowing yourself to take a break. Okay, so this is what I have for you, what Spirit has for you, and I hope more than anything that this reading was encouraging to you, validating for you, and just helps you, I don't know, feel better about your path ahead and how far you've come, because you deserve to acknowledge that clearly. You have done so much. But I'm so proud of you, and you're really going to do some amazing things in our world. I know it. If this reading resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, hype the video if you feel called, leave a comment if you want to and let me know how it resonated. If you want to work with me in any capacity, you can find all that information at my website at theseaowl.com, and it's also in the description box below. And more than anything, Leo, please take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.